I would definitely be myself, and then like just start off as friends, you know, because maybe he is not my dream man, you know, maybe he's not.
Within the hypothetical, he is your dream man.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I would just try to, you know, be friends with him and see where it goes. And if he desires me, then he desires me. If he doesn't, next, you know?
Okay, so if I would meet the man of my dream, first of all, I would look at his eyes, and then I'm sure I would be very shy, because when you meet the man who you really like, it's like hard to look in his eyes. I would smile, I would shy, I would be red, and I just like a little bit flirt, but it's coming naturally, and we have just little topic. And I'm very strong woman, but when I meet the right man, I become very like a kitten, and we will see what will happen after.
So you just sell yourself in any way?
It's not a self, it's a natural behavior. When you meet the right man with the right energy, it's like, it's maybe it's only with me working like that, but I feel like I want to be weak, and I want to be behind this man, and I don't, короче.
So
I start to imagine this beautiful man. And actually, yes, I want he be stronger than me, and that he take the situation in his hands.
okay, so we know
And
what
then
you
little
want.
by little he will find out me, and then yes.
Fantastic. Okay, now we're gonna go for one more round. So the idea of the hypothetical is to test your answers and to see what you guys obviously come up with. Put your ideal man in mind, right? This guy's tall, handsome, he's successful, he's busy, he's on his grind and everything. What do you think this guy wants? What do you think he wants? Go.
What I think he wants. He wants someone to confide in and be there for him. Probably as a busy man, you have a lot of conflicts throughout your day. So somewhere that he can come home and feel comfortable and feel like, you know, we can have a conversation. Say there was a problem. Like, we can have a conversation and not get all up in our feelings and feel stressed out by, I don't know, just someone that's there for them. Because it's hard nowadays to have someone who genuinely cares and you feel like you can confide in them no matter what. So just to be that for somebody else, I bet that's what they want.
Okay.
From my experience and my question and talk with men of all levels, I think men, first thing they like is loyalty and somebody that can listen and understand, somebody that they can come to and talk on any subject and they find it smart, and somebody that can give them sometime advice. This is a great partner when you can be a little bit of everything together.
I would just want to be his peace. Yeah, simple.
You think he would want peace?
Yeah, especially if he's successful. Obviously, he's doing something that's important. Most people don't have someone they can confide in, speak to. Yeah, I would just want to be his peace.
Anything else you can think of?
Nope, that's...
What does it mean to be someone's peace?
That could be a lot of different things. Sometimes they need a shoulder to cry on. Maybe someone to put a smile on their face.
This guy's someone who never cries.
That sounds like a problem. That sounds like a major problem that
Right,
needs to be fixed.
So someone who doesn't cry?
Yes.
Why does water?
That means
you're
you're.
show emotion.
Why do you
in.
have to summon tears? Why do you have to have moisture coming from your face to be normal?
To get something out. There's obviously built up tension inside of you. If you feel like you have to cry about it, there's some sort of overwhelming feeling inside of your body. And if you're not tapping into those feelings that make you feel like you're gonna cry, there's something wrong. You need to express that and get that out before you put it out in different ways. Because if you're not crying or feeling some sort of sadness when you're overwhelmed or sad, then you're definitely putting it out in a different way. Oh, you want to fight? Oh, you want to push someone away or act a certain type of way? Like, there's something behind not feeling able to cry.
Men who don't cry is not available emotionally.
There we go.
What if they love going to the gym and just punching the shit out of the boxing bag? And that's the way that they do it, and they never cry.
But then that's not just focusing
Tell
on
me
the
how it's
actual
different.
feeling.
Tell me how one is a better emotional release than the other.
It's called suppressing. When you go to the gym, you elevate your endorphin. When you're emotional, you lower all your guards and your walls, and you're actually submissive a little bit. Not submissive, but you
Okay,
are
so you want the man to be
vulnerable.
submissive again. So,
Vulnerable.
anyways, back to
think that
what you were
was the right
saying.
word.
How is it a better or worse release of energy? Because I would definitely claim that going to the gym and hitting the boxing bag for an hour is
Oh, I know. I think that's
much
really.
better.
I think that's really
But
important.
it's the same thing, because what you essentially said is that this is like an energy buildup. You've got things inside you and you need to release, right?
But
so
I
if you need
feel
to
like-
release it, and then my way of doing that is going to the gym and hitting the bag for an hour, and then your way of doing it is to cry. Like, why is my way worse?
I'm not saying that it's worse. I just think that it's not. You're not tapping into all of it. You're not tapping into your actual emotions. Okay, we're getting out the anger. Anger is a mask of sadness or something else. It's not just anger. You don't just get angry and be angry for no reason.
So you think that somebody can't cut you off in traffic,
of
and
course,
but you're
that's-
not actually angry yourself?
Okay, but you're gonna no. Someone cut you off in traffic. You're angry, and you're gonna go punch a punching bag about it.
Can I ask
Come
you-
on, there's something you need to work on.
So what I said was, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, and you get angry about it, does that mean that you're masking sadness?
No.
Well, that's what you just said.
I
That's
feel
what
like
your
it's
logic would assume.
crying is something deeper than just anger. Anger probably follows up on it because it's like something else.
I'm
And also, maybe you're so upset in traffic because it triggered you in some way. Maybe something else happened a long time ago, and when that guy cut you off, you were like, "Ooh, that pisses me off so bad." And you're like, "Wait, why does this piss me off so bad? I'm just driving in my car."
or maybe you're just angry because you got cut off and you wanted to say something?
Yes. So people were saying that like men are feminine these days, like they're like not as masculine, and I think a man crying is like very feminine and make them not masculine. Like it's such a
It's an instant turn off, and
It's a
like
turn off.
it's pretty much the same with all women, but they'll lie to you and say that. Oh,
No,
it's
I
not
agree.
It's not a turn off. I really like it when my man is like weeping on my shoulder,
Fuck
which is just
no.
a total. Fuck. Look,
I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying cry about everything in the world that ever makes you ever made you mad. But I'm saying if you really feel that much emotion, to let it out and cry. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem. That should not be something that you're avoiding doing.
yeah, but do you understand why, based on what you guys all just said, which is that it's very unattractive for a man to cry? Do you understand why there are certain cultural parameters that are put up and cultural walls that are put up for men, which means that they have to find other ways to get around these emotional states? Because the reason why you're actually not very attracted to a man who cries is because every fight to a man who can be strong in hard times, right? So if he's crying, instantly you're going to think to yourself, gosh, what if something goes wrong, like financially, or what if there's an intruder, or what's he going to do? Is he just going to collapse and cry? So, I mean, if he has a family member who's just died and he's just heard the news and there's like something like crazy's just happened, you can understand that like release of emotion, because that sort of thing does happen.
Exactly.
However, if he's just like crying all the time, then
That's-
that's or crying over things that he can just sort of deal with, then that's another thing. But also, guys don't like, with me, for example, I just don't ever feel the need to do that. Like if I've got a problem and it's like really something that's eating away at me, for the most part, I'm going to give one of my brothers a call, or I'm going to give one of my friends a call, and we're going to have a really logical conversation and we're going to fix the problem. However, if you guys are really emotional about something and you come to me about it, what do you want me to do? You want me to listen and not give you a solution. You want me to just make sure that you feel heard, right?
That's the difference between men and women.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because men their first instinct is to, okay, so how can I fix this problem? Whereas when you talk to a woman, they're like, okay, I'm gonna let you vent, I'm gonna let you get that out. I'm not saying that a man should just cry every time there's an issue and they're so overwhelmed. I'm saying if there is, okay, wait, hold on. So
You got this?
a man shouldn't cry, every single time there's a problem. But if you can fix that problem, what would you be crying for? Okay, I understand. But if there's something so deep, someone died and you're not crying about it, what aren't you releasing? What aren't you taking care of mentally? Because there's nothing you can do to fix that.
Earlier in the conversation, you were saying it's like a build-up of emotions, and there might be something that you think of when you were 12 that made you really sad, that when the person cut you off in traffic, you just want to cry. That was sort of your logic, that we all have these build-ups of anxiety and emotion, and we do. I mean, we're all creatures who sort of carry all different kinds of life experiences. Some of them make you sad, some of them make you happy. We're all going to die one day. We all have to sort of be cool with that at some point. And, we all have hopes of heaven and fears of hell. So I understand that. However, with guys, generally, we tend to just deal with things completely different to you. Women actually enjoy crying a lot of the time. They'll sit there and they'll be like, all right, it's cry time.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
cry
I'm going
now.
to sit here for an hour and I'm just going to cry. And they can do shit like clean the dishes, or they can go like walk around their house and talk to a friend. Whereas if a guy does cry, generally, that's something like that's
Really serious.
It's serious, and
Yeah.
you normally want to be completely alone, or maybe in
With that girl that's your piece.
no. or with one of your very, very close friends who you can really
Men
trust,
in
like
the
a
group,
serious
They all
confidant.
make fun of each other. Why do you feel comfortable crying in front of some men that literally they be like, oh, your jacket looks
Not true.
stupid, fool.
Hey, you think my jacket looks stupid?
No. That was just my example.
No, but in terms of men crying in front of each other, I think that that's a myth. It's something that females think that guys do. But I've had different men who have confided in me in like really, really serious times when they're going through something immense and then they've cried in front of me. And normally it's like, I'm not going to sort of,
Console you.
like pat your head for half an
Right.
hour. But if that happens, then I'm going to sit there with you. I'm probably
you a
going to
solution.
be silent for a little while. And then once that's done, we're going to come to a solutions-based, we're going to have a solutions-based conversation, right?
Yeah.
But the key difference is that when women do that to you, if you start trying to give them solutions, they're like, just shut up and just listen to me.
Because did you give the moment of silence like you did for your homeboy?
With the women, you give pretty much all silence. That's all you do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, to be with a man who doesn't cry at all is not healthy. I'm not saying he should always cry. I'm not saying that it's not okay to cry.
But you have to understand that there are a lot of guys like that though, who would never cry, even if something the worst
Maybe
thing
that's
you can
not
ever
my type.
imagine
I think
happened.
there is a difference between like crying and shedding tears, because crying to me sounds like you're just like
Whining about it.
like,
Whining about
crying,
it.
and girls on the phone with their friends crying, like that's crying. If you like take a moment and like shed some tears, you can like by all means do that and not lose any respect for me, because I'll understand the situation, and if I am your piece, I will understand why that's going on. And I've had my man cry in front of me before.
Shed a
I
tear
did
and then
not
go punch
lose
that punching bag you were talking about. Show me how strong you are. Come on, we're going to get through this, baby.
Well, I mean, I don't think that if you early,
Oh.
but generally speaking, there are so many guys who I know who are the most sort of emotionally intelligent, if we want to use that word, men that I know that would never shed a tear. I would never see them shedding a tear. But they're
And you would never
if
see
we want to
them.
if we want to use the word emotional intelligence, then they're completely emotional intelligence, because they're completely emotionally intelligent, and the reason why is because whatever comes their way, they can process it in real time and not react to it, not have an emotional reaction to it. And I think that actually
To have
is
more control of
the
your
highest form
emotion.
of emotional intelligence.
Because to only use it when you need it.
Yeah. Whereas women these days will tend to say these guys aren't emotionally intelligent, they're not emotionally available.
Probably
because
emotionally intelligent
be-
would be crying
what was
all the
that?
time. To be like emotionally, to not be emotionally
Well,
intelligent.
you would agree with me that generally the sentiment these days in society is that men aren't emotionally intelligent enough, and women are the emotionally intelligent ones. And the reason why is because men don't show emotion. Right?
I think
if they think that an
today-
outward reflection or an outward demonstration of emotion is showing that you're emotionally intelligent.
I think today the problem is every guy shows all their emotions, and whether they do it in a aggressive or a weird way, they're still showing immense amounts of emotion. So to say like, oh, I want a guy who, is emotionally intelligent, would be someone who knows when their emotions are appropriate.
Here's what I think you guys really want, and I think that this would be a characteristic of everybody's dream man in here, the one who you had meant to sell yourself to before. I think that you guys would want a man who's completely stoic, doesn't have emotional reactions to you and to your outburst, is able to leave the house, go to the gym, come back and have a rational conversation, and is able to be the sort of sturdy rock face that your waves of emotion crash into.
Absolutely not.
Well, I think that
Because
the vast majority of women.
Right. I'm
Sorry?
trying to see all sides.
So this is what women will say, is that they want to have a man who they can connect with emotionally like that. But no woman really wants that. What they want is a man who's going to leave that situation if it's getting emotional and heated, and then come back later and be like, all right, we're going to have a conversation about this now.
Please don't leave me.
I don't think every woman is like that, and I don't think crying automatically equals weakness. I think that's what it is. Like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with shedding a tear. It's still handling your business. Something can hurt you, and you still find a solution to that and take a moment to cry. I don't personally view that as weakness, or I want my man to be tough all the time. That is.
How would you feel though
unattractive to
if
me.
your man cried in public and your friends were there?
Oh hell no!
I don't even cry in public. I don't
Right,
cry in
so
public, so you should.
This is what I'm saying though, and sort of furthering on from that last point, that generally women want a man who is, to the outside world, he's very stoic and he's like got this sort of, he's aggressive and dominant and you know, forges his own path in life. But then on like a cold Sunday morning, you want to see behind the veil, maybe just a little bit. I think that generally speaking, women tend to want that. Just in moments when he's with you, then you maybe see behind the veil a little bit.
I think the right person show you both sides. He show you his masculine, he show you his sensitive side too. It's again have to do with how available he is emotionally and mentally.
It's funny because there's been like a lot of studies done on what women actually are aroused by. And one of the books that I find really interesting is called A Billion Wicked Thoughts. And it's by a bunch of Google engineers. And what they do is they got like a billion Google searches from women and to see what women's pornographic fantasies were, right? Can you guys guess what they would have been?
No, I wouldn't want to.
Gay.
That wasn't one of them. So some of the most watched sort of adult content for women
I think it's a gay
was
thing.
billionaires, vampires,
How do you know they're a billionaire?
billionaires, vampires. It's going to make sense in a second, I
Ew.
guarantee
That's
you.
actual billionaires.
Werewolf, surgeon, and pirate.
So they have bestiality.
But what women did they ask? What level
It was
of women?
no, it was completely anonymous because it was billions of
Duh,
different
because
Google
why
searches.
would you want anyone to know that?
Let me land.
Google
okay?
Google searches.
So-
Yeah, I heard you.
Look, what are the most popular movies and TV shows that we've seen women?
Fucking since you said vampires, it would be like Twilight.
Is that
and
for
freaking-
women?
What,
on their
and so
period?
so
That's
does,
disgusting.
does that now shock you that vampires was a part of it?
It doesn't shock me. It's just gross.
Notebook, the movie Notebook.
Yeah, but
He built her a house. That's the type of
Right.
yeah.
he's very competent. What else?
And he
What's,
sure did cry. He sure did cry. He said, "I
what's the
love
most
you."
popular? What's the most popular book, especially in recent times, that women have bought?
50
I
Shades.
recently
Exactly right.
Twilight?
50 Shades.
50
of Grey.
Shades of Grey. What's he? He's a billionaire, and what he
He's
is
a dominatrix.
he's a beast to the outside world, but then she gets to tame him. It's like a Beauty and the
How
Beast.
does
What
she
was the
tame him?
age
How does
range
she
for
ta-
these surveys?
Well, she
Because-
literally gets tied up and beat, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
Well, I mean, to her, he's like he warms to her in the end, right? Have you guys ever seen them? There's a movie called 365, I think, and it's about an
I've
Italian mob boss who
Yeah.
kidnaps this woman for a whole year, and then after the year, they eventually fall in love.
That's
Right?
like
Isn't that
Women,
like
syndrome.
women are
Yeah.
obsessed, but women are obsessed with that movie. Why are they obsessed with that movie?
I've never seen
Why
it.
are they so turned on by that movie?
Because
Well, it's because he's a
keep me
dangerous
away from.
he's a dangerous mob boss that falls in love with her and then shows her like a bit of a different side, right? So all this to say that
Oh, I
the
can
Beauty
make
and the
this
Beast archetype is something that is deeply, deeply ingrained within women. And even that movie, Beauty and the Beast, was
That
made
was
for that
horrible.
particular reason as well, because women want a beast who they can
I
tame.
think also we all, as children, we've been brainwashed that we
Yeah.
have to have some type of relationship because we grew up in a mother and a father and a family thinking this is the ultimate. How about invest in yourself? Grow
Wait,
yourself.
So you think that it's better
Is
to
that
be...
brainwashing?
the
No,
type of stuff
I
they put on
think
TV.
the stuff they put on TV, they put to you this perfect family, you know, the mother, the father, the
That's
children.
how it's supposed to be. That's how.
That's
you think-
Yeah.
because of what?
Just to be clear, you think it's brainwashing for there to be a mother and a father?
No, it's
No,
brainwashing to
That's-
think that a beast is good.
A
That's-
beast?
No. It's the archetype.
That's what he
The
said.
archetype is Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yeah.
So when I say beast, I'm talking about the archetypal figure of the hyper-masculine guy.
The guy who locks you in a cellar in a basement with his talking
Look,
candles.
I'm not the one who was watching it on repeat and like
never watched
you know,
it.
that was women who were doing that. Women are obsessed with that movie. They're obsessed with 50 Shades of Grey. They get their eroticism through reading.
So
unlike
what type
men.
of men? I mean, what type of movies and books do men read,
Well,
and
that's
what,
the thing.
what shows
women.
them what they
men,
like?
just
men
women.
are visually stimulated. Women are narrative
I'm
stimulated.
not reading no book. I'm trying to see some titties.
Everybody
you guys-
wants to feel special.
You guys probably all read fairy porn.
No.
Don't lie to me.
That Beauty and the Beast archetype comes
I only
from
read
wanting to
with
feel
that side,
special.
yeah.
I think everybody wants to have that special part of somebody. Like
You can go.
Oh, this
Can I
person is just
wrap
like
it up?
this
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me. Like
Yeah, go
men
ahead.
don't want their women giving it up to everybody. It's the same way. Like I don't want you showing that vulnerable side to everybody. It's the same way. I don't think it's about wanting to tame a beast. It's about wanting to feel special. That I get a certain part of you that nobody else does. It's the intimacy and vulnerability.
But it's also the representation of the masculine. Say they desire it. All of the scientific research shows that
I
is
do,
what they
because I
gravitate
want
towards,
everyone
and that's
to
what arouses
see me
them.
when I'm walking with my man and be like, oh, I ain't gonna mess with her.
Yeah, they don't like feminine men. But anyways, we didn't get through the whole job interview thing before. That's fine though. But all that to say with the job interview, that it's interesting to see because not one of you guys said during the job interview what you're going to bring to his life and what you can do.
Didn't finish.
You just talked about yourself, but like in the initial one, which was off the cuff, it was
Did
a
you
little
not
bit.
hear
Still
that I
the
was going to
same
bring
thing.
my whole deck so I could do a presentation? I'm just kidding.
I don't think you said that. But yeah, so it was interesting to see that
We didn't
no
finish.
one said that. But the initial one, no one said it, and that was a raw study.
The initial one that I said was that I would bring my authentic self. And I think that within itself brings
And
a lot to the
that's
table.
about who? It's about you.
Yeah, that's who I'm speaking for. Who else am I speaking for?
When you say I know you're very confused by it, but when you say how do you sell yourself to somebody, you're meant to say, what can I bring to your life?
Oh, I
What
got
are
a
the-
big
what are the-
butt, and I'm very thoughtful, and I care. Like, what do you want me to say?
You're gonna say you're
I'll
gonna
take my shoes off when I come inside.
Yeah, come on, can you carry
I
me? Can you
actually-
carry me to the front
actually
door?
at least just don't refuse to. That would be a good idea. But you were on a right path. Who said that you're going to ask him questions? Was that you?
But we didn't
Or you?
finish.
Ask question.
You said that you were going to ask him questions. Yeah.
I says I'm gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I thought that might have been a good answer if it was followed to a conclusion, which was not the logical conclusion
But then
of
you
what you were
said
saying.
he's just gonna sit there like this, and I said I'm gonna break the silence.
Yeah,
with
I know,
a
but
joke.
that's irrelevant. But what we were talking about when we said that was that I thought that there was going to be someone who took it to a logical conclusion and was actually asking him about how can I help
do
you?
you
Like
want me to
what
bring
about
to
it?
the
What about
We
your
didn't
life?
finish. You asked
How
only
can I
three
benefit you?
girls. We
You didn't
waited
ask
for
them.
our answers.
Well, it's funny because you
Don't
guys
judge.
are all taking the piss out of it,
Be
like
at your
Because
service.
you-
exactly like how can I
You
be
know,
your
should I
service?
get on
But
my knees?
No.
but God forbid,
Oh my God,
God
please.
forbid you actually have to serve the man that you're with,
I
your
will, but
dream man.
I don't think that my dream man wants me to crawl in the door
Who said that?
and lay on the floor and say, take me, take me, I'll do
me,
anything
please.
for
You have
you.
to bring
have
like
me.
Because
things
now
to
you're a
the
thirsty
table
bitch and I
that
don't like you. You're a whore, you probably do that for everybody.
See, you guys have just completely failed 100% to grasp anything I was just saying. It's actually quite impressive how quickly the point just flies over your head. But what I'm saying
more
is that instead of doing whatever you were just, like whatever crawling you were just doing, the idea is that
Please
you
mansplain
walk.
it to
The
us.
idea is that you walk in. I will. Thank you. The idea is that you walk in and you say. And you observe the guy, who he is, and you sort of try and ascertain how you could bring value to his life. And then maybe you have a few questions to ask him about what he does, what his needs are, how I can help you. And then you can say whether or not that's something, a duty you'd be willing to fulfill. Because you know what? In marriage, people have duties, even the women.
That's true. I agree with that. I don't think that's wrong, but I don't think that if you're going to be the big, strong man that you're going to be, I have to just ask you and figure it out. You should tell me, right?
We're trying to be
You
So,
listen,
so you would
I'm
never,
your dream man.
you'd never ask your dream man, hey, honey, is there anything I can do for you today? Can I make your life
today.
easier?
Now that I'm with you,
Okay.
today. But when you came up to me and why was you sitting here like this? Okay, that's not my dream man. One, but two, here's what I need from you. I need you to do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. Can you do that? If my answer is anything other than yes, then I'm done.
Yeah,
right?
see, the difference is though, I can have, if I was that guy, right, just say I'm everybody's dream man, and then I have a bunch of women walking into the room, and then I'm going to tell them all, I want you to do this, 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 and this. You know what they're all going to say? Okay, I'll do that. Oh yeah, that's me. But if I have them come and sell themselves, asks those questions and is really observant of myself, then it's going to set her apart because you know what it shows? Initiative. And actually men like women who have initiative.
I hear your point. That's good.
All right, we need to get into a couple things. I did hear the term mansplain, though. Why don't we investigate that a little bit? When you say mansplain, can you define that so we understand it?
When men explain stuff that we obviously understood, but we were joking.
Joking about the explanation, or I'm just confused?
Well, he was mansplaining a question he already asked that we already answered.
Were you mansplaining it, Jake?
No,
or-
well, if mansplaining is based on the fact that you already understood